Welcome to the video lecture series of Mobile Applications Development. Our today's topic is Activity Life Cycle. Hi, this is your instructor Janice Shah. So let's begin to understand that what do we mean by activity. Students, in our previous sessions we have already talked about that what are the components of the Android. So when we talk about the basic components of the Android, students, we have like activities, services, broadcast receiver and the content providers. In the general sense, whatever we can see in our smartphone, that is our activity. Whenever we click on the application and it will show one screen, that screen is known as your activity. Okay, so the activity is nothing but one screen of an application. Same like that, when you click on Microsoft Word in your desktop and it will show one screen. So desktop screen is same as we can consider as a activity of particular Windows. Same like that in Android, whatever we can see in our smartphone after clicking on application button or surfing through the applications, then that particular screen is known as activity screen. Okay, so here I'm taking one example is that it's all about the Instagram application. See, this is the first figure shows the list of the various applications in my smartphone. When user clicks on the Instagram, it will show the main activity. See, whenever you click on the Instagram, it will show you the main activity. Okay, that contains the various feed of the photos, and on the below of that we found the navigation buttons like profile, likes, dislikes, the add the post, the reels, and the home button. So the home button is nothing but it is your main activity because that's the screen that you are able to see when you click on the Instagram icon at the very first time. Okay, now when you click on the profile icon given on the below, okay, then you can see the number of Instagram posts that you have posted on Instagram profile. So that particular screen is known as child activity. So here we can identify that what do we mean by the activities. The basic screens is known as the main activity. When we navigate in the application from one screen to another screen, then it is known as the child activity of the particular main activity. Fine. Students, why we called it as a child activity? Because whenever we click on the back button, we can get back to its original parent activity. Okay, so here the activities has stack. I think I already told you about the activity stack in my previous sessions. But let me just remind you back that each and every activity goes through the various stages for the life cycle. And this stage is managed by activity stacks. When you click on first activity, it will goes like activity 1. When you goes inside in that particular activity, then another activity will comes place on the top activity 3, so activity 1, 2, activity 3. Such like this, we can maintain the activity stack. When I click on the back button of the activity 3, I can move towards the activity 2. When I again click back on the activity 2, I can move towards the activity 1. Okay, so such like this, we can maintain our activity stack. So here, I have already shown you this example in my previous sessions. If you do not know, then do not forget to video my previous activity and activity components, or I can say the Android components. Okay, so I have already explained that in the very first figure, if you can see here, I have just click on the activity 1. Okay, this is my back stack. When I click on the activity 1, it will start the activity 2 of that particular application. Okay, now again when I click on any process of the activity 2, it will show the activity 3. So activity 1 is now on the bottom. Above it we have activity 2, above it we have activity 3, students. What happens when I click back button up from the activity 3? So activity 3 is just destroyed and activity 2 comes in a picture because right now activity 2 is in a running state. When I again click on the back, activity 1 is in a running state. So there are various stages of the activity, or we can say activity life cycle, that we need to understand. See, as an Android developer, you need to be aware that what type of code you want to show during the activity life cycle. We have various number of stages for the activity life cycle. Okay, let's see what are the stages for the particular activity. Okay, students. When we talk about the activity stages, that means which type of activity stage we can consider during the operating our Android smartphone. So first one is activity is in a foreground of your screen. That means right now when you click on your Instagram application button, you can see the feeds of the various stories as well as the number of posts posted by the other users. So right now we are accessing that particular screen. Okay, so that is known as your foreground activity. So that means that particular activity is right now on the top of the stack. Okay, it's said to be in active state, it's a running state. Okay, it's the activity that user currently interacting with. Now another one is second is stage is activity has lost focus. That means you are not the particular activity. Okay, you just click on over there and activity it seems like a transparent. Okay, so that activity is a transparent on the top of an activity. So that means the another activity has take the place of that particular activity one, or you can check the multi-screen option in your smartphone and you can do the multi-screen navigation using the two different applications, as well as here the activity itself in a focus in the current window mode, such like activities are alive. Okay, activities is completely alive but not in a running state, sorry, not in active state I can say. Okay, so now when we talk about the particular activity third stage, that is activity is completely hidden by the another activity. That means when I click on the Instagram search bar, I can see the various profiles, that is a search list activity. When I click on a particular profile of Virat Kohli, then I just search out the Virat Kohli profile, that is another activity. So at that time the searching list activity is behind of the Virat Kohli's original profile activity. So this is known as an activity is completely hidden by another activity. It can be another activity can be stopped or hidden. It also retains the all information of the previous application, as well as in the window is hidden. So we can say the system may kill that particular activity. See, if I am running one application WhatsApp, I am running another application Instagram. If I just switch from one app to another app, at that time if for the no longer time if my activity is still in the memory, it may be possible to access the other application. Our system is automatically just killed that particular activity and resume the other ones. Now next one is, and very last stage is when a system can destroy the activity from the memory. That means when activity is killed. Okay, so destroy activity, that particular stage is activity getting destroyed. Okay, the destroy activity is either asking to finish or simply killing that particular process. When it display another to user, it must be completely restarted. That means it doesn't like that if I am running right now radio 98.3. Okay, then the radio is currently going on. When I click on the home button, the process is still going on in the background by using the services. I have already given you the example about the services. Okay, my process is still running in the background using the background services. That means activity is not currently running, but in the background. It's not in active state, but it's in a running state. I can say. Okay, it's running in the background. Okay, I can serve the other applications. When I get back to the particular application, I can resume from the whatever the point I have gone. No, I can resume the view whatever the currently going on in the radio station. Okay, but what if I just exit close the particular application and then again click on that particular 98.3 application, then the process got killed and again restarted. Okay, so that is all about the activity destroyed and then it will restart again. Okay, so this is all are the four stages of the applications activity. Okay, then another thing we need to understand that all about the callbacks. Students, the callbacks are very important for you, because if you maintain the callbacks easily, then the application can sustain during the various operations done by the users. So the activity class provides the number of callbacks. Within the life cycle of the callback method, students, you can declare your activity code, that if my activity currently on create state, then how it behaves. If my activity is on stop, then how it behaves. If my activity get destroyed, then what it need to turn to user, return to the user. So such like type of things you need to understand, that according to the state of the activity, or I can say according to the callbacks method of the activity. So what do you mean by the callback? Student, callbacks are the method, we can say, in which you need to write down your code that in particular state, like in active state, or we can say in a create state, the activity should perform like this. In a stop state, if activity goes in the stop stage, then it should run this particular code. So just need to write down your code in a particular activity stage. Okay. Example, in the video streaming application, students, if I just close my internet connection, then automatically my video streaming gets stopped. Okay, so activity gets stopped, and when I switch to other application, activity is in the background. Okay, just paused. When I come back to another application, then again the internet and I start the internet connection, then from a particular view I can start my application. Okay, so such like in this particular whole application layout, when I click on the particular application, I am on the onCreate, onStart, and I call the onResume callback methods. So what we are going to do is we are just going to learn each and every method in a detail. But before that, let's understand that why the callbacks are very much important. Students, if you have implemented callbacks method properly as per the life cycle of the activity, then number one, first, you can save your application from the data loss. That means crashing when the user receives the call or the switch to another application. Have you ever found that if your application is not in the proper version, then in the beginning of the Android you might get issues like you are just currently working on the particular application, you get a call, and that particular application get destroyed its activity. That means you just need to restart that application. Or you can switch from one app to another app and your activity of the previous application get destroyed. Okay, if you do not want to do that, then you have to manage your life cycle of activity. Second, consume the valuable resources when the user is not actively using it. Okay, that means your internet should be used only when and when you are active on the particular application. If you code like this, then it might be possible this should be done by doing the proper implementation of activity lifecycle. That if I am using the application, then and then a particular service is going on. Otherwise, it should not be done in the background. Next, the losing of progress. When the user leaves the particular application, students, and it returns back, that user should have the same screen which he has left at the previous time. So this thing also can be managed by activity lifecycle. And the last one is the application crashing down or the losing of the data should not be occur when you just move your phone from the portrait to the landscape. Okay, when you change the screen orientation, your data should not be lost or your particular screen should not be lost at that time. So these all things can be managed by activity lifecycle. Okay, you just need to write a proper code for that. So what are the callbacks? Here, students, we have the basically 6 to 7 callbacks with us. First one is on create, second one is on start, third one is on resume, fourth one is on pause, next on stop, next on destroy, and one thing I've just forgot to write down, that is on restart. Okay, so these 7 methods are known as the callbacks method. Why they are known as a callback method? Because to navigate from the one activity to another activity, we need to maintain our activity life cycle, or it might be possible that we need to call one method from another method. Okay, so such like this, we just need a callbacks. Okay, system should invoke each and every callback when the activity enters in a new state. So this is all about the flowchart. If you remember the state diagram in your software engineering subject, you will get the better idea over here that we have the various states like active state, or in a hidden state, or the pause state, a resume state, a waiting state. Okay, so such like this, any particular process can be, or any thread can be in any number of states. So this state, when the callbacks called a method, when the activity change its state, the callbacks occur. Okay, so let's understand each and every method. So students, the very first method we have, that is known as onCreate method. Here, the onCreate method is a state when the user enter into the application, the onCreate method gets called. At the time when the activity is first created, the onCreate is called. You can perform the basic setup type of data or the logic over here when you want. When you want students, I just need to run the particular code at the time of application creation or the onCreate activity. Then you should write down that particular code in this onCreate method. Next, the bundle object. OnCreate method contains one bundle object, okay, that containing the activity's previous saved state. If your activity is in a, I can say the start state or the resume state or the pause state previously, then this bundle is saved that particular state. If activity never existed before, that means you are just running activity very first time, then the bundle object contains null because there is no previous state of the particular activity. Fine. So I think it is very much easy to understand about it. Now, how the code should look like. So here it is the code for the particular activity. You need to write like a protected, then a void because method is not returning anything, then on create. Do not forget to write a method name perfectly because Android is totally basic on the Java. So we know that on the Java we need to write like O as a very first letter is a small, then we need to go as a camel casing later in the particular method or variable declaration. So it's on create is a method. The bundle is a class, say instance state. Okay, that is the object of a bundle. I have already informed you that onCreate method has bundle object as a parameter. Okay, then super.onCreate because this method should be inside the extended class. It's in the child class. Okay, so what class are we need to inherit it for this? I will explain. Just keep some patience. So super.onCreate, and inside we need to pass the bundle object, then set content view r.layout.activity main. Students, r, we already talked about the r class in the previous session. Then layout dot activity main, that means we need to call this particular method for the activity main which is there in the layout folder. Okay, so for that when the user run the activity main, okay, then we need to call this particular method. Next, set content view. Set content view is just bind the view for this particular screen, that we can say activity main. Next, on the below of it we found the toast. So here the toast is a class, capital T, that toast is a class, small t toast, that is known as an object. So students, have you ever found that you get a toast messages in your smartphone whenever you get received OTP? Okay, then you get a notification. I'm not talking about the notification. A small data that we can see in the below of your smartphone, that is known as the toast messages. Okay, like message sent. Okay, just remember when we just sent a message, a small toast messages come up in your smartphone, that message sent. That is known as a toast message. So here I'm just creating a toast message. So whenever this particular method called, we can understand, okay, this method onCreate method is called. Okay, we just write like toast is equal to toast dot make text in bracket get application context. Okay, then where you want to show this particular toast, then comma on create call. This is a message that you want to see. If you want to see like message sent, then you can see message sent. So if I am going to see that on create call, that's why this I am writing over there. Then you need to specify so that how much amount of time you want to show your toast. That is done by toast dot length long dot show. You can also write toast dot length short. Okay, so short and long both are there. If you write down length short, that means toast will be shown for the short period of time. In the long, it will shown as a long period of time. Okay, so this is how we can show the toast message while calling the onCreate method. Next, students, when we talk about the onStart, so onStart method is suddenly invoked after the onCreate. So it's create when the activity is visible to the user. Okay, onCreate method will be called first. Then we can see the onStart method. Okay, after the onStart, onResume will be called. So it's followed by the onResume. Okay, If the activity is invoked from the background, then again the onResume method is called. It also invokes the onStart method after the onCreate. I have already informed you. So this is the onStart method. You just need to write down like this. It does not contain any parameters. So just need to write super.onStart. Okay. And the toast messages are there. I just change the method, the message that is onStart called. Okay, nothing else. Rest of the things are the same. Next is the onRestart. So students, when your activity is try to get restarted, after the stop, it will get restart. Stop, restart. Okay. So it is invoked after the activity has been stopped. Okay. Then it is followed by the onStart. Okay. When that any activity is revived from the background on the screen, okay, the onRestart method will call. So any activity, I just click on the background button, activity goes into the pause state. When I click over, call it again. When I call it again, then it comes into restart state. Okay. So here is the on restart method. Then when we talk about the on resume, so resume, it is invoked the activity start interacting with the user. So after calling the restart, we called the resume method. Okay. So the activity is at the top of the activity state when the user interacting with it. Okay. So always followed by the on pause method. You can go in the pause method, then the resume, the pause and the resume. Okay. Things is continuously going on. Okay. Next, this is a code for the on resume. Next, on pause method. So it is invoked when the activity is going into the background. Then the system called the on pause method. Next, when the activity is launched in front of the other activity. If one activity is launched in front of other activity, this callback will occur. The first activity goes into the pause state. Okay, and then when again I just get back from the activity 2, the activity will be resumed. Okay, so it is recommended that heavy processes should not be done in the pause state. If you remember, if you think that this particular process is a heavy logic, then it should not be into the pause state. Okay. Next, we have the onStop. So it is invoked when the activity is not visible to user. Okay, stop will be called when the activity is not visible to user. It is followed by the onRestart when the activity is revoked when in the background. Then it is followed by the onDestroy. See, two things are there. OnStop method will be followed by the onRestart. That after stopping, the activity get into the restart state. Okay, so when we just call the activity from the background, then the restart method will be called. But what about the destroy? So it is followed by the destroy. That means destroy method will be called after stop method. Once the activity get stopped, then the destroy method will call. Okay, to finish the remaining processes. See, this method may never be called in a low memory situation. Okay, where system does not have enough memory, the stop will never be called. Okay, to keep the activity process running after its on pause method, at that time the pause method is called. Okay, when your battery power is low or a system does not have enough memory. This is a code for the on stop method. Next, when we call about the on destroy, so finally the on destroy is called to bring out activity from out from the particular activity stack. Okay, so no activity is running at the time. So when the activity is completely temporarily destroying that instance from the activity stage. So on destroy method, you just need to call same like previous super.onDestroy. The toast code remains as it is. Instead of that, I'm just changing the message, that is it is called on destroy. So finally we come up to the activity life cycle. Now let me show you that how it works. So here it is students. The first, when you click on a particular activity, the activity gets launched, then it calls first the onCreate method is called, then followed by the onStart and onResume. See, the onResume, after the calling the onResume, you can see your application screen. Okay, yes sir, my application is currently running. Now what happens? After that, when the another activity is come in front of activity 1, see this is activity 1, activity 2 comes in front of it, then the activity goes from on resume to on pause. So activity goes from on resume to on pause. Okay. Next, from the pause, when the activity is no longer visible to user. That means now activity is no longer visible to user. It just got to the stop. Otherwise, when you get back to the activity one, then it will return to the first activity and currently working as a on resume state. Fine. So from the on pause students, when you are just your phone memory is totally low or computer have to shut down your application, then that particular activity need the higher memory. See, the application with higher priority need memory. That means one operating system algorithm is that like higher priority memory. The algorithm terms like this: if any sources or any application need the higher amount of memory, okay, another application is just running in the background, nothing any work is there, then you can stop that particular application, you can kill that application. Okay, so that goes like this. Well, your activity gets killed from the pause to directly activity process killed, and user navigates to the activity launched again. So after that you just need to launch your activity again. Okay, now, so it might be possible that many times that if our phone gets low amount of memory, then one of the application stores like that application does not responding. Okay, or wait till application responds to you. So that goes into the application kill process. Okay, you just need to restart your application again. Okay. So after from the stop students, our application, you see the activity is being finished to destroy by the system. When the activity gets finished, it will destroy by the system by calling the onDestroy method, and then application gets shut down or activity gets shut down. From the onStop students, when user navigates to activity again, it will just create or restart the application, call the start application, resume, and activity is currently running. That means here the activity is running, that is the state where you can directly interact with the particular application, or I can say screen. Okay, so this is all about the activity life cycle. So now, how we need to write down the programs. So students, basically you just need to import android.support.app.app compact activity. So app compact activity is the main class that you need to import. The bundle you need when you just need to pass the parameter as a bundle, and the toast to showcase the toast. So here is the very first. The public class main activity extends app compact activity. So app compact activity is our parent class extended by main activity. Extended by main activity. Now inside it we have already one method which is already created, that is known as protected void onCreate. Okay, and inside it you just need to write down this particular code, set content toast, and the other methods of this particular activity class should be written over there. On start, on resume, on post, all methods should be written over here. Fine. So this is all about the theory part of the activity life cycle. Okay, how the activity life cycle can be implemented real time into the practical, that we can see in our next lecture. Okay, so I will show you that how the activity will looks like, how can we taste the various stages of the activity, that all things we are going to learn in our next lecture. Till that, if you have any doubt in the theory part of the activity life cycle, then please feel free to ask me. Thank you so much.